Take the Leap is the podcast where we get real about the roller coaster that is entrepreneurship and life. Sure, some folks make running a business look like a walk in the park, but let's be honest, it's more like a wild ride through a theme park with a lot of unexpected twists and turns.
Join us, your co-hosts, Ashlan
and Tory,
as we spill the beans on our own real-life experiences and shine a spotlight on some amazing guests. From the highs of success stories to the lows of epic failures. And hey, we'll even throw in some cringe-worthy, laugh-out-loud, embarrassing moments for good measure.
So buckle up and tune in every Tuesday and Thursday for a dose of raw, unfiltered truth about what it's really like to chase your dreams and build a business.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just dipping your toes into the startup world, we've got something for everyone. Even if it's just to make you think, wow, I'm glad I didn't do what they did. Welcome back, everyone, to the Take the Leap podcast. We are so excited to debrief our conversation with Spencer Hill. We're going to just jump right in to this money mindset statement that not all money is good money. Or as Spencer said, I believe attributed to his grandmother, all money isn't good money.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I think if you're an entrepreneur, at some point in your journey, you're going to find this out the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you and I have done this. We have taken money from clients that were like, why did we do that? And I know one of the things that you and I are both aiming to do more and practice more this year is making sure that whatever we do work-wise, like truly aligns with our values and that we aren't compromising those in the wicked pursuit for money.
Yeah, absolutely. That statement, I feel like everyone just needs to sit with that for a minute. Mm-hmm. Not all money isn't good money. And in our capitalistic society, and just kind of honestly how we were raised, I think from that certain generation of just like our parents telling us like, well, you just need to get a job. It just needs to be money. Like you just need to get a job. You need to do okay. Like, and you just need to work hard and then, the money will come, you'll figure it out. And it's like, yeah, but not all money is good money.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both worked jobs that were a little bit soul sucking, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it.
And that money wasn't even like, and not
it wasn't good money. Yeah, it wasn't good money.
It wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really
I mean,
wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I've definitely made more money in being an entrepreneur than I ever pulled in.
Yes.
I mean, it's business money. So it's not, I think that's the one thing to remind people about is taxes exist and all the money that your business makes is not money in your pocket unless you really want to get taxed hard.
And that is the bummer is it's like I'm making more money now than I've ever made as a W-2 employee. However, I don't put all that money into our monthly spending because there's a lot of business expenses that come out of that and taxes and everything like that. But I think along this topic, I think having like and we've had conversations about this before, and we also have like a module on this in the course, like having like discovering what your money mindset is just so important. Like a lot of us come from different backgrounds, different we were raised differently around money, and so therefore we have different responses and reactions to money, and that can really hinder you as an entrepreneur if you have these beliefs about money that are really negative, like that money's evil or, whatever it is. And you might not even like necessarily know it. It could just be like this subconscious thing that you have that could really hinder your performance. And I think it's just having a healthy mindset around money is going to help you choose and select the right clients or the right people to work with and or the right paths or avenues to get the money that you deserve and that you need in your business.
Yeah. By the same token, you cannot just decide one day that like you charge $1,000 an hour. I'm sorry.
Right.
There's also like realistic paths to things. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I have talked to entrepreneurs lately. Well, they're like, this is my rights. And I'm like, okay, now I understand why you are not getting clients. Like there is,
No one's going to pay that.
yeah, nobody's
You
going
have to know your target audience. You have to do all the work to
Yes.
figure out like, are people actually going to come to you for that? And it's just like, just wishing upon a star, like, oh, I wish to be a millionaire. Like that's, as much as I love and believe in manifesting, that's not it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and there's work, right? There's work to put in, foundational work. And the more that you build that foundation and that muscle around your money mindset, around, your values set, around your boundaries, I think it all just gets easier, honestly.
I think so.
But
I think
yeah.
you're right. And also to kind of spiral off the topic that we talk about all the time, where there doesn't need to be competition because there's plenty of business for everyone. I also believe that there's plenty of money for everyone.
Oh my gosh. There's so much money. There is a lot of money out there. Yeah.
Exactly. And, we could go on a completely different soapbox. And we're not going to with that.
Yeah.
But there is plenty of money out there for all of us to have comfortable lives where we are fed, we have a roof over our head, we are able to participate in our lives and have active community and not worry. There's plenty of money out there. So do with that information what you will.
What you will. Yes. Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting too, is even the words that we have, the words, the descriptions that we have around money, around pricing, around costs, like, or I think we ended up talking about this in the episode that we do with Mary Williams. I love smutty TV or like trash TV, especially like Real Housewives trash TV. And I think it's the Salt Lake ones. But one of them was just like, well, we're not poor, like using the words like poor or broke or, like starving or different things to like just, describe your relationship with socioeconomic status. Like there are ways that we are just our cultural norms, right, around money and the way that we were taught and things like that. Like looking back at it now, like we acted like we were like broke and poor when I was growing up. And I'm like, dude, we always had food. We were never evicted. We always had housing. We were never, homeless. But you can kind of be ingrained in these like, mindsets of like, and where I think a good one to remember, and Mary talks about this all the time, is like doing an inventory of like where knowing where your money is going too, because that's like a huge deal as well. So actually, in thinking about that statement, all money isn't good money, it's not only like the money that you have going in, but like considering the money that you have going out, like what is that going towards? Like, can you help out and support like fellow small business owners? Can, like what is it that you're choosing to spend on without getting like overwhelmed by it? Because, there are a lot of folks, like, I will be completely honest, I think Amazon is super evil. Amazon is super convenient. Like there are also just, trade-offs and factors we have to think about as we go, through our day to day as well. And, is there,
I agree.
Is there a balance that I, can make in that? Or, is there a way that you can help others, out? Or, one thing that I do quite often is I donate to nonprofits. It's just something, that I do. I'm not like incredibly wealthy or rich, but I feel like it's, it's all part of that kind of money flowing and being able to like, you get to choose what you take in. You also get to choose where it goes out. And that's all it's all, I guess my point of that is it's all kind of up to you.
It is, it is.
Yeah.
And you get to make those decisions. And I mean, one thing that came out during the election, which comes out every election, is which companies spend money
Right.
on
To
certain candidates
support
and
candidates.
initiatives and bills. Exactly. And so if there's something that's really against your belief systems, you get to make that call of how you spend that money. And I agree with you. I think Amazon is evil. And I don't like where they've spent their money. I really don't like where they've spent their money. And as a parent, I can't not 100% of the time not order from Amazon because sometimes we run out of diapers really freaking quickly. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get those at the store. I'm not leaving the house in the middle of the night.
Oh, totally.
I'm gonna have to overnight these diapers.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, but how I make up for that, like you said, like you give to nonprofits. This year for Christmas, I tried really hard to not order Christmas presents from Amazon and order them from like Etsy or somewhere else or like local handmade places instead. Or I tried to make some of my gifts, you know, and I think there's, you know, nothing in life should be rigid, and you're not going to be 100% good at everything all the time. And so also just like remembering that too, if you like, don't feel guilty when you have to take advantage of the convenience and the system and, you know, how things work. But also the only way we as a society are going to make the changes that we want to see too are spending our dollars where we actually want them spent. So
absolutely. Yeah.
that was the extent of my soapbox.
Absolutely. Hopefully you agree with our soapboxes, or let us know.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything else about alignment with values or money mindset that you want to share before we play our game, one win and one thing we could have done better?
Just that I think just, you know, it's kind of such a big topic and it's kind of overwhelming. And so I would say just knowing, kind of like you said earlier, what narrative you have around money and around your values. Like, what are those narratives that you have? Like, just pay attention when you're spending your money or when you're receiving money. Like, how are you feeling about it? Like, do you kind of have the ick when you spend money? And then just maybe kind of just stop for a second and think, why do I feel weird about this? Or why am I annoyed that I'm spending money every month on this? Or what is this response, this stress response that I'm triggered by? Or maybe you're the kind of person that's kind of living in more of a scarcity mindset and you're constantly feeling like you don't have enough money. Like maybe taking a look and looking at your accounts and, you know, maybe you don't have enough money, or maybe you find that you do and you need to kind of just move things around a little bit. I guess that was a really rambly way of saying kind of check the narrative and figure out where that's coming from. Is it your mother's voice in your head telling you that you should do something, or should you really not do that? You know, I think that's really important.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is another theme that I think we'll continue to talk about too this year is self-awareness, right? Having that awareness, or like, I know that for me, every once in a while, I get in this money mindset of like imposter syndrome, or like, you know, if a client didn't pay on time and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like, am I going to be able to like pay that bill, or, you know, different things like that. I think it's really important to know that as an entrepreneur, you are probably going to think those, you're going to get into a cycle of thinking them over and over again. And I think this is one of the reasons why you and I want to do this kind of like, what's the win and what's what we want to improve, you know, moving forward, because things do have a tendency to like cycle, and you have the ability to, if you can kind of build an awareness around it and a practice to make it less impactful on you, or, you know, think through that, it just gets easier with time. I'm just going to say, like, it's like building a muscle, right? Or like, you know, exercising and working out. It's going to take time, energy, and attention, and it does get easier, you know, over time.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Tori, what is your win for this week? And what do you feel like you could have done better?
That is a great question. So one win I have for the week is that I focused on some of my more creative goals. I did a lot of reading this week, and I actually did some writing this week, which I'm really happy about. I mean, it was a couple of short, more journal entry type writing situations, but I did it. I told myself I was going to do it, and I did it. So that's my win. That's my win. I focused on my more creative goals this week. And then the one thing I could have done better, and this is the thing that I said I was going to work on this year. So we're still not that far into the year, but I would like to just keep reminding myself that this is my goal. Staying on top of admin stuff. Need to stay on top of that so that I'm not in a crunch this time next year. That is my goal, to not be in the same position I keep putting myself in.
Absolutely.
What about you?
We have celebrated the 5th business birthday, so we are going into our 5th year. So yeah, that is feeling super, super good and recharging, I guess, my agency is starting to produce content again because I took a big long break, and that is one of the things that I want to do regularly this year is stop just focusing on clients and start doing your own business as well. And then my do better for this week was give myself more space before coming back to Vegas and just jumping back into work. So that is my big thing, is being a little bit more realistic about what's possible after, I will put this out there to folks. It is 18 hours of driving over the course of 2 days is what the back and forth is. When you can't travel through the mountains to get
Which is
back.
absolutely insane. And
Yeah.
if it were me, it would be even longer because my
you have a
toddler does
child.
not.
Yeah. My husband and my dog have a lot of patience with me. And
How many stops do you think you make, like with driving? Like, do you stop every couple hours or?
No, I mean, I think like we're really bad and we just eat a bunch of fast food. So there is like drive-through stops, and depending on how much water or other things I drink, I do have to stop to pee.
Right.
But I mean, that's usually like, I don't know, 5 minutes and then back on the freeway. So it is much better than what we used to do, which is just like pretty much drive straight, like which takes the 2 different ways that we've gone took 16 and a half hours. And I did that after Thanksgiving of 2023. And I got myself my first ever speeding ticket because I was flying. I was flying through, I think it's called Esmeralda County. Such a pretty county name, but north of Clark County, which is Las Vegas. But yeah, I was going really fast.
Ready.
I was ready. We were about like an hour and 10 minutes away from being home, and I just
my gosh,
I cannot anymore. My knee usually gets like super sore from like the back and forth, and then if we can't hit the cruise control, like, and it's any types of stop and go, twirling, turning, but yeah, I was really glad that he clocked me at the speed that he did and not what I was doing way before that. Because I was like, oh, that would have been a way bigger ticket. But now I know not to in dark back road. It's not even a back road. It's like the main freeway that goes up, the side of Nevada. But it was very much like there's a point that it just becomes like a straight, like there are no curves in it, and you can go, basically as fast as the car can go down that. So
oh my gosh,
yeah.
I'm curious though now. So with the long drives, what do you usually do? Do you like listen to podcasts? Do you listen to music? Like, how do you get
music and podcasts, and sometimes like music podcasts. I do have a playlist on my Apple Music, and then this most recent time, because it's like end of the year, beginning of the year, I had Apple Music's like replay 2024. So
Nice.
I was just like, we're just going to listen to all the things that I really liked listening
Good.
to
Good.
this last year. Or they had a bunch of, we really like electronic dance music. And so a lot of DJs had like New Year's Eve like playlists that we tuned
That's
into
fun.
as well, which was really fun. But I probably, yeah, I think he would get really bored of the audiobooks that I would want to listen to.
Yeah.
But we also used to do like quiz, Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is like a quiz game show one back in
Okay.
the
Nice.
day, which was super fun. But yeah, also shout out, there is on Amazon Prime Video, they do Pop Culture Jeopardy now. And I don't know if you've
Oh.
seen this yet. It makes me feel really smart because it's all pop culture related. But yeah, if only I could like transfer that to my
To other
phone.
things.
Yeah, to other things.
That's great. Yeah, I always like to know what people do on road trips because
Oh, yeah.
I would get so bored if I didn't have like honestly for me, even music gets boring after a
Yeah.
certain hour amount of driving.
Yeah.
Like I have to have some sort of book or
Mhm.
podcast or something to keep me
Something.
engaged.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, especially if I'm driving. If I'm not driving, I'll probably just sleep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I usually at some point like there's some go-to like upbeat music. Like I cannot listen to like chill or relaxed
yeah, no,
music or some 90s like playlists with some good I will
yeah,
sing a lot
yep,
to a lot of
fair.
music because it keeps you awake a lot more.
You get home and you're like losing your voice.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. There's been so many times. It's like car karaoke, it's
Yeah,
really, really super fun. But yeah, so that's usually what we do, is do that. And I have a lot of stuff downloaded on my phone, music wise. So we are never without something to
awesome,
listen
awesome.
to. But all right, friends, we had a long rambly
Yes,
conversation.
thanks for hanging in there with us. If you're
As
still
we
here,
do. But I guess as a takeaway and a call out, if you are needing help finding values aligned clients or want to, talk through what that looks like for you, or you're curious about how to price your products and services, these are things that we talk about in our course, our Take the Leap
yes,
course, how to do this work. And of course, we want you, when you join the course, to be part of our community and get one-on-one coaching and advice from us on how to navigate this in your business. So with that, we will invite you to join the course, or if you have any questions, feel free to send us a DM on Instagram, or you can email us at aloha@taketheleap-today.com. We are here for you. We want 2025 to be the year that even more people step into entrepreneurship and get the support on their journey. So with
absolutely.
that, we will say bye for now. Thanks for listening.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Take the Leap podcast. We hope you found useful takeaways you can apply to your entrepreneurial journey. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and keep in touch and follow us on Instagram. If you have business questions, shoot us a direct message or leave us a comment. We'll try to cover it in an upcoming episode. And visit our website, taketheleap-today.com, for more resources like our online course that accompanies this podcast.